Kaley Cuoco has long occupied a rare and cherished place in popular culture, not simply as a successful actress, but as someone audiences genuinely feel they know. From her breakout success as Penny on The Big Bang Theory to her gripping, dramatic turn in The Flight Attendant, Kaley has demonstrated remarkable range, timing, and emotional depth. Yet what truly sets her apart is not only her talent, but her relatability. She carries herself with an openness that feels refreshingly unpolished in an industry often defined by carefully managed personas. Over the years, fans have watched her grow, evolve, stumble, recover, and thrive, all while maintaining a grounded sense of self. This authenticity is what makes people root for her, not as an untouchable celebrity, but as a real person navigating life in the public eye. A quiet moment that spoke loudly. Recently, Kaley Cuoco sparked widespread conversation not through a red carpet appearance, an award speech, or a major career announcement, but through a simple Instagram post. The photo itself was unremarkable by traditional celebrity standards. No dramatic lighting, no heavy styling, no visual spectacle. What made it powerful was precisely what it lacked: filters, perfection, and performance. Kaley appeared relaxed and unguarded, sharing a moment that felt honest rather than curated. While some headlines attempted to sensationalize the image, fans quickly recognized its deeper significance. It wasn't about shock or controversy. It was about comfort in one's own skin. In a digital culture obsessed with flawlessness, her post stood out as a quiet but confident declaration of self-acceptance. Authenticity in a filtered world. Social media has transformed the way people see themselves and each other, often blurring the line between reality and illusion. Carefully edited images dominate timelines, subtly shaping expectations about beauty, success, and worth. Against this backdrop, Kaley Cuoco's choice to share an unfiltered moment felt almost radical. She wasn't rejecting beauty or confidence. She was redefining them. The image resonated because it reflected something many people crave but rarely see: honesty without apology. By presenting herself as she truly is, Kaley reminded her audience that authenticity is not something to hide or fix, but something to honor. In doing so, she offered a powerful counter-narrative to the idea that self-worth must be digitally perfected before it can be shared. Humor as a bridge, not a shield. One of Kaley Cuoco's most beloved qualities has always been her humor, not as a defensive mechanism, but as a bridge to connection. In discussing the post, she joked lightly about common misconceptions people have about her, including exaggerated assumptions about her height and on-screen presence. Rather than bristling at these misconceptions, she met them with warmth and laughter. This approach disarmed criticism and replaced it with relatability. Humor, in Kaley's hands, becomes a way to humanize rather than deflect. It invites people in, reminding them that imperfections are not liabilities, but shared experiences. Her ability to laugh at herself without diminishing herself sends a meaningful message. Confidence doesn't require seriousness. It thrives in self-awareness. Redefining what confidence looks like. For decades, celebrity culture has equated confidence with flawlessness, suggesting that success requires constant self-maintenance and visual perfection. Kaley Cuoco challenges that narrative by demonstrating a different kind of confidence, one rooted in comfort rather than control. Her candid post was not a rejection of glamour or achievement, but a reminder that confidence is not situational. It does not disappear when makeup comes off or when expectations fall away. Instead, it deepens. By showing herself without embellishment, Kaley illustrated that confidence is an internal state, not a visual performance. This reframing is especially powerful for audiences who struggle with comparison, offering reassurance that self-belief does not need external validation to be real. Opening the door to body image. Conversation's body image remains one of the most sensitive and influential topics in entertainment, particularly for women whose appearances are constantly scrutinized. Kaley Cuoco has never positioned herself as an authority on perfection, but she has been open about the realities of physical change, professional pressure, and personal expectation. Her recent post naturally sparked conversations among fans about body image, self-comparison, and unrealistic standards. Many people shared their own experiences in response, creating a space for mutual understanding rather than judgment. By simply being herself, Kaley facilitated dialogue that felt organic and inclusive. She didn't instruct or lecture. She modeled acceptance, allowing others to reflect on their own relationships with their bodies and self-image. Social media as a tool for real connection. While social media often amplifies pressure and performance, it can also be a platform for meaningful connection when used with intention. Kaley Cuoco has consistently used her online presence to share genuine moments, joyful, challenging, and ordinary alike. Her recent post exemplifies how authenticity can thrive in digital spaces when individuals choose honesty over optics. The overwhelmingly positive response demonstrated that people are not tired of reality. They are hungry for it. Fans responded not because the image was dramatic, but because it was real. In an environment driven by metrics and appearances, Kaley's approach reinforces the idea that connection, not perfection, is what sustains long-term engagement and trust. Self-worth beyond appearance. One of the most profound messages embedded in Kaley Cuoco's candid post is the idea that self-worth extends far beyond physical appearance. In Hollywood, where looks often overshadow substance, it is easy to internalize the belief that value is conditional. Kaley's willingness to step outside that framework challenges the assumption that visibility requires validation through aesthetics. Instead, she emphasizes qualities that endure: humor, resilience, kindness, and self-knowledge. By presenting herself without artifice, she reinforces a broader understanding of worth that includes personal growth, emotional honesty, and inner strength. This perspective encourages audiences to measure themselves by deeper standards, cultivating self-respect that is not dependent on external approval. Vulnerability as a strength vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, especially in public life. Kaley Cuoco's openness demonstrates the opposite. By sharing moments that are unscripted and unfiltered, she shows that vulnerability is a form of courage. It requires trust in oneself and in one's audience. The response to her post made it clear that vulnerability fosters connection rather than judgment. Fans responded with empathy, gratitude, and recognition, seeing their own experiences reflected in hers. This shared humanity dissolves the artificial distance between celebrity and audience, reminding everyone that emotions, insecurities, and growth are universal. Kaley's example reframes vulnerability as a source of strength and authenticity. Mental health in the spotlight. The entertainment industry is known for its intensity, with demanding schedules, public scrutiny, and constant evaluation. Kaley Cuoco has been candid over the years about navigating these pressures while prioritizing mental well-being. Her openness adds depth to her public image, reminding audiences that success does not eliminate vulnerability. By acknowledging the challenges behind the scenes, she helps destigmatize conversations around mental health, particularly in high-pressure environments. Her recent post, though simple, aligns with this broader narrative, one that values balance, honesty, and self-care. It serves as a reminder that mental health deserves attention and compassion, regardless of status or achievement. Humor as empowerment. Kaley Cuoco's use of humor goes beyond entertainment. It functions as empowerment. By playfully addressing misconceptions and expectations, she takes ownership of her narrative without defensiveness. Humor allows her to disarm criticism while affirming her sense of self. This balance of lightness and confidence resonates with audiences because it feels genuine. It suggests that empowerment doesn't require confrontation. It can emerge through self-acceptance and joy. Kaley's approach encourages others to meet their own insecurities with kindness and perspective, transforming self-doubt into self-understanding rather than self-criticism. Influence that extends beyond acting. Kaley Cuoco's influence reaches far beyond her roles on screen. Through her authenticity and openness, she contributes to broader cultural conversations about confidence, identity, and self-acceptance. Her candid post illustrates how public figures can use their platforms responsibly, not to dictate ideals, but to normalize humanity. Fans don't look to her for perfection, they look to her for honesty. This influence is subtle yet powerful, shaping attitudes through example rather than instruction. By aligning her public presence with her personal values, Kaley demonstrates that influence is most meaningful when it is rooted in integrity and relatability. A message that lasts. What makes Kaley Cuoco's recent moment so impactful is not its novelty, but its resonance. Long after the headlines fade, the message remains. Authenticity matters. By choosing honesty over performance, she reaffirmed that confidence is not about meeting expectations, it's about embracing oneself fully. This message lingers because it speaks to a universal desire for acceptance and self-peace. Kaley's example encourages people to show up as they are, trusting that authenticity will always be more compelling than perfection. Kaley Cuoco as a modern role model. Kaley Cuoco represents a modern kind of role model, one who leads not through unattainable ideals but through openness and self-respect. Her career achievements speak for themselves, but it is her willingness to be real that truly inspires. The candid photograph that sparked conversation was not a publicity move. It was an expression of comfort and confidence. In sharing it, Kaley reminded audiences that growth, humor, vulnerability, and authenticity can coexist with success. Her legacy continues to evolve, not just as an actress, but as a cultural voice advocating for honesty, balance, and self-acceptance in an often unrealistic world.